Thank you, Zenon. Just like I taught you. I prepared my remarks, but I'm not good at prepared remarks, so sorry, I put it aside. Welcome, everyone. The speakers have been fantastic so far. And for a congressman, I understood every word that they said. Isn't that pretty good? Sleep well. We're not in session till Tuesday night. In the book of Isaiah, the Lord asks, "Who shall I send?" And someone rises and says, "Send me, Lord." That's what this is all about, my friends. Each of us has a responsibility and obligation to do the best we can to preserve these democratic values that we hold so precious. Each of us, each human being here and beyond, in New York, in San Francisco, everywhere, we're being called. We're being called. And this, you made it a crusade since January the 20th. You have made it a crusade. I applaud you. I thank you. Those of us in the Congress who appreciate it can't get enough of you. All right? Try that out for size. My friends, I gave a speech on the floor a couple of weeks ago, and like every other congressional speech on the floor, most of them go in one ear and out the other to the Congress itself. We believe, this is what we believe in democratic values. You've heard that term a few times this morning. This is what we mean, this is what we believe. Regardless of where you're born, you could be born in the middle of the Sahara Desert. You are born with what we believe are your birthrights. Your birthrights. It is not our Constitution, and I carry the Constitution with me all the time. Get a life, Pascrell. No, I bring this with me. I remember rather watching paint dry on a wall than the nuns putting my face in the Constitution. How dopey I was. How important this Constitution is. But the Constitution doesn't give us our rights. It protects our rights. We have rights when we're born, no matter where, no matter what conditions we're under. Now, my friends, on February the 1st, I gave a letter to the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee. I serve on that committee as the ranking member on trade. Oh, that's going to be fun. I gave him a letter saying, do you know what happened in 1924? In 1924, right after the Teapot Dome scandal, and I remember how many times that my teachers would drill me on the Teapot Dome. I hated the term Teapot Dome. Representing, and Peg, this is the truth, representing Teapot, Wyoming. Because that's where it all started. When the Secretary of the Interior, Fall, tried to put oil reserves that were publicly owned, the naval oil reserves, on the private market. And Democrats and Republicans had their hands in their pocket to get a piece of the pie. This gave rise to those people saying, well, what control do we have, or does the Congress have, in a checks and balance system? Where are the checks and balances if the President of the United States is able to do, and the members of his cabinet are able to do whatever they wish to do? My friends, you either have a checks and balances, you either have three bodies in our government, or we don't. Or we live in an oligarchy, or we live in or you persist. And you persist. And they changed the tax code because of that. Section 6103, F1. And they said after that there'd be 3 committees in the Congress of the United States. The Ways and Means Committee, the Joint Committee on Taxation, and the Senate Finance Committee that would be able to bring anyone in the executive branch's government taxes into closed session and determine whether they should be made public. You and I have a right to know who we are electing president of the United States. So I sent the letter, and I gave the letter to Kevin Brady, who's the chairman from Texas. I have a great deal of respect for Kevin, but he blew it. And I said to Kevin, look, we better do this on a bipartisan level. Before the Intel committees got winding up, I said, let's do it on a bipartisan basis, and whatever the chips fall, the chips fall. He never gave me an answer even, because he didn't know how to answer it. And so that began what started out as 10 weeks, beginning in late February, 10 weeks of my getting to the floor of the House and 9 of my co-conspirators and asking for the president's tax return under a privilege resolution. And then twice we've done it, and the Ways and Means Committee. And then Kevin spoke out, and Kevin said, no, we have no right to snoop in other people's private business. And I said, Kevin, you're not talking a bunch of kids, because just 3 years ago, you guys went on a witch hunt to get the head of the IRS to make her an axe murderer in your eyes, and you thought the public's eyes, and then you went after 52 private organizations' tax returns because you wanted to make a point about you're in charge. You did it without any Democratic support. This was not bipartisan. And what happened? You excoriated that woman. You represent the worst of America. And you are not going to do this to this country again under the flimsy excuse we don't want to get into your privacy. Now look, we have fought for privacy. We're at least out of people's bedrooms now. It took us a long time to do that for the law. But the fact of the matter is, you're not going to use that as an excuse. I want these characters to have to vote on the floor of the House of Representatives and in the Ways and Means Committee and in the Senate committees to take a vote. I want to see where they stand. So, look, we've only gotten a couple of votes out of it. But privately and publicly in town meetings, many of these Republicans are saying the president should give us his tax returns, but they don't have the guts. The guts. Don't forget, I'm from Patterson. I got to watch my words out here. They don't have the guts to stand on record, but we're going to keep on putting them on record. I've asked Congressman Capuano, my buddy from Boston and Springfield, Massachusetts, he'll be the next one up. You're next. Study the issue, know what the hell you're talking about, and the American people's lives are in jeopardy here. We are talking about American lives, whether you're talking about health care, whether you're talking about the environment, and as Mike Capuano did up in Boston just a few days ago when he put out his inhaler, he said, or else we're all going to be using these pretty soon if we don't get this environment to like us. The environment is ours. We got to make it for our kids and our grandkids. That's what this is all about. Not inhalers, not inhalers, not in masks. So I want you to look up 6103F1 and the tax code. And then what I want you to do is go to the Constitution, Article 1, Section 9, emoluments. Say that fast 5 times. That restricts the executive branch members from taking gifts from people who are going to influence. So let me tell you something. The law is on our side. I have a great respect for the brothers and sisters in blue. I'm the chairman, the vice chair, the co-chair of public safety, the Congress of the United States. I take it very, very seriously. They're here today. I speak to them many, many times. And I just want them to know, to be reassured, the law's on our side. Our side. Not their side, our side. This is heavy duty. The couple bills that are going through the Congress right now, inspired by certain Democrats, that will look to the future to force presidents to give us their tax returns. Nothing under the law says they have to do it, but since Gerald Ford, they've done it. But as this president thinks that he's the reincarnation of Cornelius Vanderbilt, who said, the law, ha, I have the power. Bull to you, Vanderbilt, and your whole family, and bull to the President of the United States. You're wrong. You are wrong. You see, it can't be just a country of laws when you like it. It's got to be a country of laws all the time. Look, I'm proud to be here. I want you to know that. You are proud to be here. And I know that. I looked at all the signs. We got a lot to say. And they better be listening, because we're not going away. We are not going away. We are not going away. We are not going away. So, Mr. President, in all due respect, you are my president. I got that out every time I say it. Tough to get out. You are my president. You are our president. We're not going away. You can pontificate all you want. You can make believe how religious you are as many times as you want. You can invoke God. Don't be a hypocrite. Join us. Join the law. Understand what the law says. Don't surround yourself with those lawyers in the White House. Come out of the White House. Come out of the White House. Don't look at the Democrats as saying, you don't have any part in this. You know, the last person that said that was Newt Gingrich. We are irrelevant, and you saw what happened to him. It's going to happen to this president if he doesn't wise up, and there's not much hope for that. My friends, thank you for listening. I got your back. I know you've heard that before. I got your back. I'm with you. Call my office. Call your own congressman. Get them involved in this. They're on the edge of coming our way. So my friends, listen very carefully to my final point. It's easy to be an beginner. You know what an beginner is? You're against something. I grew up in the streets of Paterson, New Jersey. That wasn't enough to be against things. What are we for? I'd stress that part. I would stress what we as Americans are for. We're different. We have different views on different things. I'm sure we do. But there are some core things that we will not surrender. We will just not. Forget about the I word for a few months. Bring the truth out, and the truth will lead us, and we will get to the promised land, as Bruce said. We will. We will do this. I guarantee. It took the Watergate 26 months of investigation. We're only into the 3rd month. Come on. The miracles aren't falling out of the heavens, man. It's not easy that way. These committees got to do their work. Some of them have no spine. You got to have a spine. The book of Isaiah means something. It means something. Send me, Lord. And here you are. Thank you for being who you are. God bless America. Thank you.
So I'm the Democratic Chairman of Somerset County. And I asked to follow the Congressman just to remind you of what we can do if we send good people to Congress. Let's give a round of applause to Congressman Pascrell. So I have 30 seconds. We're united in the search for truth, irrespective of party. We're united in the anti-misogynism. We're united in anti-racism. We're united in making sure our country doesn't become an oligarchy. A plutocracy, plutocracy. And we are united in the